Hi there everybody, my name is Ali and today we are doing Daily Bugle from TryHackMe. This was a Linux machine and in the initial foothold we will exploit a Joomla CMS. First of all, we will get the credentials for the admin panel of Joomla CMS by SQL injection vulnerability. After that we will log in and get a reverse shell by simply changing the PHP code of the template. And then in the privilege escalation part, we will first of all do horizontal privilege escalation, which means that we will first get into another user before getting to root user. So we will see the credentials for the user jjameson in the web server directory and log in as jjameson. And finally, jjameson could run yum as sudo, so we will exploit that by creating a rpm package and installing that rpm package file in the target, which will execute our malicious commands in rpm package, and then we will get root access. So that being said, let's jump in. I already have started my machine and my IP address is 10.10.11.216. So I will start off with the Nmap scan, Nmap-A for aggressive scan, -V for verbosity, and then the IP address of the target, which is 10.10.11.216. This can take some time to run, so I already have run it. Let's see the results. Looking at the results, we see we are having only 3 ports open starting from port 22. The service running is SSH and the banner tells us that it is running Open SSH 7.4, and then we are having a web server running on port 80. The service running is HTTP and the web server running is Apache HTTPD 2.4.6, and we are also having our operating system as well, which is CentOS, and we are also having a PHP version which is 5.6.40. Then we are having some robots.txt file as well, and there are a lot of directories, almost 15 disallowed entries. So we will look into all of these one by one. And then finally we are having 13306 ports, which means MySQL, the service is MySQL, and MariaDB is running and unauthorized here as well. But nothing interesting right now except port 80. So let's move on to the browser and let's see what is running on port 80. So I will copy my IP address from here, paste the IP address here, hit enter, and let's see what is running. And now we can see a page here right now and it says Spider-Man robs the bank, and it looks like to me that this is some sort of a blog post or some sort of a blog page, and we are having a login form as well. So let's try for default credentials here like admin, and let's see what it says. It says warning, username and password do not match, or you do not have any sort of account, so that's fine. Let's go for admin like 1 or password 123, and let's go for admin and password. And default credentials are not working onto this login page, or let's move one step backwards again onto the home page and let's see if I have anything interesting right here. So nothing interesting really here. We are having a date here which is 16 December 2019, then no other username as well. Let's see the page source as well, Control U, and let's see if I'm having any sort of comments here or any other potential file which I can look into, or any JavaScript file as well, but I cannot see anything interesting right here. So let's close this one. And now one of the very interesting thing which I want to show you is an extension called Wappalyzer. Now I have installed it. You can install it from your extensions as well. So if I click on this Wappalyzer, what it will do is it will show me all of my technologies. So this is extremely helpful whenever you are doing some penetration testing, or whether you are in any sort of CTF, or if you are going for any sort of certification exam, because it can also tell you that what operating system there is running, what sort of CMS it is running, some JavaScript libraries, some potential versions. So now if I click on this Wappalyzer, now you can see that here it also tells us that this web browser or web server is running a CMS called Joomla. So now what I can do is I can look for where Joomla is running. No, I think so onto this home directory Joomla is running, but I cannot figure out any other thing. So first of all, I will go for robots.txt file, because there were almost 15 entries in robots.txt file, and let's see what are all of these. So first of all, the very interesting one, administrator. Then we are having a bin directory, doesn't look interesting. Cache doesn't look interesting. CLI looks interesting. Then components, not interesting. And I think so all of them are not interesting. Logs one looks interesting to me. So first of all, let's see what is running on administrator. So I will copy administrator from here, open a new tab, 10.10.11.216, and then administrator. And let's see what it says. And now right away I am having the login page for Joomla CMS. So it was an easy thing. So if you are not having Wappalyzer installed, so just going into Robots.txt and navigating into different directories will also tell you that Joomla is running. Now the problem here is that I don't know that what version of Joomla is running, because if we are able to identify the version, so we can easily go to like exploit db, or we can also use Searchsploit, or we can easily go to Google and say that whether we are having the exploit for this version of Joomla. So now my next target will be that I need to find out that what sort of version this Joomla is running. So there are a lot of things which I can do. I can navigate into different directories, because I know that Joomla is running, and these all directories might be having or might be of Joomla CMS. So I can go into like installation. Let's go into installation and let's see whether we are having any sort of version here, and then I will show you the easiest way that we can find the version. So installation, and it says installation not found. Shall I remove this / at the end? No. So let's go to like logs, and logs not found. So I think so these all are not found. Let's go to CLI, and it doesn't show me anything. If I can view the page source, and in the page source we are having nothing. So I don't think so that I might be able to find any sort of like version from this one. Might be able to find anything from here, but I will show you the easiest way that how you can find any sort of version. Now normally whenever some CMS are running, there are a bunch of tools made for those specific CMSs as well. So for example, let's say that there might be WordPress running. So what you can do is you can use a command line tool called WP scan, just for scanning WordPress website, and they will give you the version. If there is Drupal running, so there is Drupal scan tool on GitHub, you can download this. But for Joomla there is again another tool called JoomScan. Now JoomScan, we can also download it from Google as well, but the easiest way to download JoomScan is that you do apt install and you do JoomScan, and it will install JoomScan in your Kali Linux. Now I already have downloaded this JoomScan, so it says JoomScan is already the newest version. So now let's see how we can run JoomScan. So I will do JoomScan -h for help, and let's see what it says that we need to specify. So at the very top it says that we need to specify the URL with --URL, or we can also use -u, and then we are having much more options, but I will only specify URL right now. So I will do like JoomScan -u for URL, and let's do HTTP and then my IP, which is 10.10.11.216. Now if I hit enter, hopefully it will start enumerating my Joomla CMS, and let's see whether it detects any version. And right away you can see it has detected the version, and my Joomla version is 3.7.0. So first of all I will copy this and add it to my notes in my Nmap scan, just below and my Nmap scan. And now I know that Joomla CMS is running and the version is 3.7.0. So let's and now it is also finding some vulnerabilities, I think so, and it is not found any vulnerability right now, so that's fine. Let's keep it running in the background, and let me open a new terminal right here. So what I will do now is, first of all I will go to Searchsploit and I will say that do I have any sort of exploit for Joomla CMS 3.7.0. so I will search for Joomla, then I will do 3.7.0, hit enter, And let's see, now I am having two exploits. One of them is cross-site scripting and the other one is SQL injection, and it is in a text file. So let's see what this text file is containing. So I will do Searchsploit -m for mirroring the exploit into my current working directory, and then I will paste the path in, hit enter, and most probably my exploit will be downloaded into my current working directory. So I will do open my exploit using Sublime Text Editor, and let's see what it says. Now it says Joomla 3.7.0. We are having a SQL injection vulnerability right here. We can see the date as well, which is 2017, and it has been tested on Windows, Kali Linux, Ubuntu, and all other operating system. And the vulnerable URL is this one, and most probably that the parameter which will be vulnerable is this one, which is list and then square brackets full ordering is equal to update XML. So this parameter will be vulnerable in this case, and he has also specified us the Sqlmap full command. Now for me this SQL command takes forever. So if I show you, if I copy this all from here, if I come back to my terminal, paste this all in, and now for me this will take forever. So I will figure out how we can exploit this Joomla CMS with SQL injection. So I will change my local host, I will add my target IP address, which is 10.10.11.216, and everything looks fine. So one thing which I will add at the very end is that I will add one more parameter which is called batch. So what it will do is it will, now Sqlmap always asks us a lot of questions, so it will ask a lot of questions. So just to answer those questions by default automatically, I always use --batch, so just to make my work easier, because if I am running Sqlmap or any other website and if I'm not using --batch, and normally Sqlmap takes a lot of time, so if I am going anywhere and when I come back, so it is just stuck on that question and that question has been unanswered. So that's why I use batch all of the time. So now if I hit enter, now for me I don't know why it happens, but Sqlmap will take forever. But let's see how we can figure that out. So while I was doing this box at the very start, so what I figured out while this Sqlmap was running, I simply go to Google again and I search for like Joomla CMS 3.7.0 exploit. So I found a very important and very easy exploit on GitHub. So let's see how we can get that one. So I search for 3.7.0 exploit, and right away at the very top on GitHub I found this exploit, and this was really amazing because it gave me what I want. So this is a Python script basically. So what I will do is, we can also clone the repository by clicking on code right here, and it will show us a link right now. So it's not showing right now, but what it will do is it will show you a link. Copy the link and just go to your terminal and type in git clone. And right now what I will do is I will simply download this Python script. So if I click on this Python script and let's click on raw right here, you can copy all of this script as well, but I will simply copy the URL from here, come back to my terminal, and let's see whether my JoomScan has been done, and it is done. It has also found the admin panel here on administrator. Then it has found a lot of directories, but doesn't look interesting. So let's come back here, and now I will keep my Sqlmap running in the background, and let's see whether it finds something or not. So I will paste this URL in and I will do wget, and what it will do is it will download this Joomla exploit into my current working directory, and here it is. So what I will do is I will simply do, first of all, let's see what this is doing. So Sublime Joomla, and now if I scroll down, now normally you don't need to have a very knowledge about like programming, or you don't need to have any sort of knowledge about programming. Just by reading some sort of English code or English language will help you a lot, and then when you will get experience, you will be able to read code as well. So just totally as a beginner, what you can do is you can simply see right here, this is the URL which is he's trying to go for SQL injection. Then if I scroll down, now if you have a little bit knowledge but no knowledge is required, you can see right here he is going for table name, and then he is extracting the table name or table information by doing from information schema dot tables. And if I scroll down a little bit more, now you can see right here what he is doing is he is getting out the ID, he's getting out the name, he's getting out the username, email, password, and then OTP key and OTEP. So just reading a little bit of code helps us a lot. So now let's see whether it detects something or not. So I will do python joomla.py and I will hit enter, and hopefully it should give us that how to run this tool. So it says joomla-h, and it says, I think so I need to specify only URL. So I will do python joomla.py and let's add the URL. So URL was http 10.10.11.216. Let's hit enter and let's see whether it finds something or not. So fetching CSRF token, testing SQL injection, and it found a table, and now it is extracting information from the table. And now right away it found all of those things which I showed you right now: ID, then user or username, then email, and then it also got the password, and some blank fields at the end might be OTP key or OTEP. So I don't know what both of these were, but we have those blanks right here. So now I have successfully found the username and password, and most probably I will be thinking that these usernames are password and passwords are for like the administrator panel of Joomla, but we never know. Let's try. So the username was Jonah, but the problem here is that the password which we have found is in encrypted format, and now we need to crack this password using like any tool like Hashcat or John the Ripper. So let's see how it goes. So first of all, what I will do is I will create a file called hash and I will paste the hash in that file. But before using John the Ripper and Hashcat, what I will do is I will come to my browser and I will go to crackstation.net, because crackstation always works for me. Let's see whether it finds this hash or not. So crackstation online password hash cracking, and I will paste the password here, hash here. I am not a robot. Just selecting these ones. Okay, and crack hashes, and now it says type is unknown and unrecognized hash format. Now whenever you are using John the Ripper or Hashcat, we need to tell these tools that what sort of hash it is. Now the easiest way which I have found out is that there is a built-in tool installed in Kali Linux already, which is called hash identifier, and what it will do is it will get the hash and it will tell us that what hash it is. So let's paste the hash in and let's hit enter, and now it also tells us that it is not found. So whenever I am not able to find any sort of hash, that what sort of hash it is, whether it is like SHA-512 or like SHA-256 or MD5 or base64, normally these sort of tools will tell you. But if these sort of tools are not telling you, what you can do is you can just see the first 3 or 4 letters of the hash. So my first 4 letters are $2y and then dollar. So what I will do now is I will go to Google and I will say that the hashes which start with, or let's do the hashes starting with $2y dollar. So hit enter, because Google will always tell us something interesting. So it says the hashes start with $2y dollar identifier. This indicates that the hash has been created using bcrypt. Now I think so it is bcrypt. So let's go to now John the Ripper first of all, because Hashcat basically utilizes the graphic card. Now right now I'm doing all of this stuff in my virtual machine, which is VirtualBox. So right now I might not be able to utilize my graphic card. But if you are using a dual boot, you have done a dual boot of Kali Linux or Ubuntu, or you are using your main operating system, so you should definitely use Hashcat because it is extremely amazing and very fast as well. But for now, this video I have also created my specific password file in which there are a limited number of passwords, I think so 100 or 110. So, and I will let you know what sort of word list you should use as well. So right now what I will do is, first of all, I will see the John formats, because if John is not supporting bcrypt, then doing a brute force stack or cracking the password will be useless. So what I will do is, I will see help menu, first of all, John-h, and right at the very bottom it says that if you need to see the formats, you use dash dash list equals to format. So I will copy this from here, then I will do John dash dash list equals to formats, and now it will show me a lot of formats. Now what I will do is, I will do Control Shift F onto my keyboard in Terminator, and what I will do is, I will search for bcrypt. So I will do bcrypt, hit enter, and we found bcrypt right here. So it means that John the Ripper does support bcrypt, and it will crack the hashes which are encrypted in bcrypt format. So let's hit enter one more time. Let's see whether I am having anything, but right now I am having only one hash. So let's see how it goes on. So I think so the syntax is John, and then we need to specify the format. So format was bcrypt, so format equals to bcrypt. Then I need to specify my hash file which is containing my hash, and then I will specify the word list. So the word list was, now, I would highly recommend you, if you are going for any sort of CTF competition or OSCP exam or any other certification exam, I would highly recommend you that you should use user share word list rockyou.txt. But right now, in my case, if I use this word list, it will take a lot of time because this is a virtual machine and this is not much very powerful. So that's why, for this reason, just for this video, I have created a very specific word list which I have just installed right into my current working directory, and I have named it as passwords. But I would highly recommend you that you should use that rockyou.txt word list in any competition or any other exam or certification exam. So now for this video I will use this password list. Let's hit enter and let's see whether we get anything interesting or not. And after some time you can see we got the password for this hash, and this hash was spiderman123. So now we successfully cracked the password just by doing a brute force attack. Now normally if I show you in, like, let's do user share word list rockyou.txt, most probably this spiderman123 should be in rockyou.txt, because a lot of CTF makers make the passwords which are already present in rockyou.txt. So if I show you, like, let's cat out this rockyou.txt and let's grab for like -i, and for in case sensitive, n for line number, and what I will search for is spiderman123. So spiderman123, if I hit enter, and now you can see on line number 46,834 there is spiderman123. Then on this line number there is spiderman1234. Then on this line number there is spiderman123 with capital S, and so on. So this will take I think so like 30 to 40 minutes for cracking using John the Ripper if you are using a virtual machine. But if you are using like Hashcat and you are using graphic card, so it will take almost not more than 5 to 10 seconds. So that's the reason, the difference between using a virtual machine or as a main operating system. Or you can also go into like SSH into your like main system, which is you having a graphic card. But there are a lot of ways with you can try any one of them. So right now I have successfully got the password, which was spiderman123, and hopefully it will be for like this Joomla user which I found using SQL injection vulnerability. So I think so let's move on and let's go back to the administrator page and let's try whether these credentials are valid for this page or not. So I will do Joomla, paste in the password, or let's do spiderman123, hit enter. and now it looks like that I am logged in, and I am logged in, and now I am onto the main page of Joomla CMS. Now if I click on right at the very top, I am having a super user account, so it means that I am logged in as admin, and Jonah has administrator access as well. And now we can see right here as well, logged in users, and we are having super user and administration. So now I need to figure out a way that I can get a reverse shell or any other thing. Now there are a lot of ways, but the easiest one which I have found is using the templates section. Now if you don't know how to get a reverse shell, what you can do is you can simply go to Google and you can say that I am logged in as Joomla as an administrator, so how do I get a reverse shell? And there will be a tons of blog posts which will let you know that there are these methods, and you can use this one as well, so you can get into the system. The easiest one which I found was using the extensions button here. So if I click on extensions, there will be templates, and if I click on templates, these one, I will be moving on to the templates page, and then there are two templates, so we can select any one of them. Let's select this first one, and it will show me PHP code for this extensions. There will be some index.php, error.php, or any other PHP code. So let's move on to index.php, and we will see the actual code for this template. Now what I can do is I can simply, because I am an administrator, so what I can do, I can edit this code, I can do anything to this code. So what if I totally remove this code, and if I execute, and if I paste my malicious code or malicious reverse shell code in here, and if I run this template, or if I can see right at the top, I am having a template preview button. So if I paste my malicious code right here, and if I click on template preview, hopefully my malicious code will get executed. So this is the whole idea. Let's see how we can do this one. So first of all, I need to figure out a PHP reverse shell or PHP malicious code. So for that purpose, Kali Linux comes pre-installed with PHP reverse shell. So if I do locate, and I will do PHP reverse shell, hit enter, and Kali Linux comes already pre-installed with. So I think so this one or these all are the same one. So let's copy any one of them into my current working directory, and here it is. So let's see what is in this one. So hopefully whenever you will see this reverse shell, you will see this malicious code. The two things which you need to change is your IP and your port. So your IP will be your local IP, which is by the TryHackMe VPN connection. In my case, it is 10.17.41.9. If you don't know how to check this one, just type in ifconfig in your terminal, and you will see this IP on tunnel 0. Normally tunnel 0 is the one which is given by TryHackMe. So if you are having any other VPN connection, so it will be tunnel 1 and tunnel 2 and so on. So the port which I like to use always is port 4444, and then I will copy all of this PHP code. I will come to my browser, I will remove this all code from here and paste my malicious payload here. So malicious reverse shell right here, and then before executing it, I will set up my netcat listener, so that when my malicious PHP code gets executed, I should catch the shell right here. So now what I will do is, first of all, let's click on save, and now I think so, because template preview will open the template, and hoping for the best that we get a shell. So template preview, and now my template has been previewed. Nothing interesting was there, but if I come back here, now you can see I directly got a shell back, and it says connect to 10.17.41.9 from 10.10.11 to 16. So this means that I have successfully got shell. So if I type in who am I am Apache user. So now I need my privilege escalation stuff. I have successfully gained initial foothold. So for the privilege escalation, I will start first of all with upgrading my shell to fully interactive TTY shell, because I know that if I press Ctrl C here, my shell will get expired, and if I can also not do very strange things like Ctrl L to clear the screen and tab auto completion. I want a fully interactive complete shell so that I can do my work much more easily. So for that purpose, I will use Python. So Python -c for command import pty pty.spawn, and I will spawn bin bash and hit enter. And right now nothing happened really strange. I got sh shell first of all, and then now my shell has been converted to bash, but that's fine. What afterwards you need to do is, after python, what you need to do is control z to background, and then you need to do stty raw dash echo, and then after semicolon and foreground. Now we make sure that you use this command if you are having a zsh shell. If you are not having a zsh shell, if you are having a simple bin bash shell, so make sure that you use both of these commands on to different lines. So stty raw dash echo on first of all, then hit enter, don't add semicolon, and then on the new line do foreground, otherwise it will crash your shell. So now I am in a zsh shell, so I will do in this way, add a semicolon, and I will add onto one line. So both of them are totally different, so make sure you remember this one. And now I am again logged in, and now what I will do is stty my rows, and I will specify my rows to 32. In the top I can see my rows and columns in terminator output, so from there I can do columns 127. If you are not having terminator, if you are not seeing your rows and column, what you can do is you can open another terminal and you can type in stty-a, and it will just show you your rows and columns. So hit enter, and then I will export few variables. So environment variables, I will do xterm right here, which is my original terminal, and then I will do dash 256 color. For colors, normally it doesn't work, but that's fine. Execute bin bash again, and now my shell has been upgraded to fully interactive TTY. So if I press Ctrl C, now you can see my shell is not being expired. If I press Ctrl L, you can see my screen has been cleared. Now what I will do is I will start my privilege escalation. First of all, id command. I'm not a member of any strange group, that's fine. Let's see what are the users right now. So cat etc password, because password file is the file which contains the users. And now I can see right here that Apache user is having a no shell, no bin bash shell. There is one user which is jjameson, and jjameson is having his home directory here as well, and he is having a proper bin bash shell as well. So first of all, let's see that whether I have successfully gained initial foothold, because if I have successfully gained initial foothold, I can read that user.txt file. So if I go into my home directory, ls cd into jjameson, and it says permission denied. So this means that now I haven't got initial foothold completely. I am not able to access user.txt file. So first of all, what I will do is, rather going for root access or going for privilege escalation to just directly root, I will go for jjameson user. And normally going into other user is called horizontal privilege escalation, and then going into root or admin, it is called vertical privilege escalation. So right now I need to go to like horizontal privilege escalation. So for that purpose, you need to follow a little bit of methodology, because there might be not anything interesting, but let's see. What I like to do is I like to look for password, because normally the ctf makers and some developers, what they have done is they have like stored some sort of password in any other file. So always go for looking the password, because there might be the password for the privileged user in any other directory. So first of all, let's see what is the operating system. So cat etc issue, I'm not having the operating system version, that's fine. Let's do uname-a, and it is Linux Daily Bugle, and the version is quite old, I think. So we can also go for kernel exploit right here as well. So it is 3.10. Normally I think so dirty cow will work, but normally I don't go for kernel exploits, because if you are using kernel exploits, they will just crash your machine, and then you will have to reset the machine and then do all that stuff again. So I don't want to crash my machine right now. If I'm not having anything interesting, I will definitely go for kernel exploit at the very end. So first of all, let's go into different directories. Now I like to go into op directory because it is very important. So ls-la in op directory, nothing interesting. After op directory, what I like to do is I like to go into like web server directory var www html, because a lot of times I have found a lot of interesting stuff in var www html. Hopefully you will find it very interesting if you are going for any certification exam as well. Now in here right now, what I look for is configuration files or some sort of password files or some sort of web configuration file, anything which looks interesting to me. So right now I'm having one configuration.php file, then htaccess.txt is very important, robots.txt we have found this one, and then web.config.txt. so first of all, let's see configuration.php file. So if I do like cat configuration.php, hit enter, and it looks like that I'm having something strange right here, and now I am having my database information, my SQL, localhost, and we are having the root user, and we are having the password here as well. And just below that I am having the secret here as well. So might be possible that jjameson user might be having this password or this one. So let's try, let me copy all of this into my notes first. And then what I will do is, first of all, let's go and let's switch user, and I will do switch user jjameson, hit enter, and first of all I will copy this one, and if this will not work I will copy the second one. So pasting the password, hit enter, and now you can see I am logged in as jjameson user, and hopefully now I will be having access to my user flag. So if I go into my home directory, jjameson ls-la, you can see I am having read access here right now. So it means that now I can read user.txt, and I have successfully gained initial foothold. So now this was the horizontal privilege escalation part, a little bit easy. Now one more important thing is that if you run linpiece, which is extremely powerful in enumeration tool for privilege escalation, and it is also allowed in certification exams as well. So what we can do is linpiece will also find this file as well. So let's say you are not able to find this file, it is very strange, or you are a beginner, so you can just simply run linpiece, and linpiece will find this file, and even linpiece will also show you this output as well. So just going through the output of linpiece, you will be able to see this password, and simply just switch user to jjameson, and you will get logged in as jjameson. So this will be your horizontal privilege escalation. Now let's do vertical privilege escalation, and let's escalate our privileges to root and get administrator access. So I will clear the screen, and again I will start my enumeration by id command. So id, I am not a member of any strange group. Then I will go for like, let's do my sudo privileges. So sudo -l, and right away we can see that user jjameson user may run the following commands on daily bugle, and it is all all commands on yum with no password. So I think so I can run yum with sudo, and it will not ask me for password. So now what I can do is, I know that yum is a binary. So for binaries, I have always told you that there is only one website which is absolutely best, which is called GTF Obins. So we can go to GTF Obins, and I will just simply search there for yum. So yum here, and let's see how we can do this one. So right here in the sudo part, you can see I am having the instructions that how I can gain administrator access, and it looks like to me that he is first of all making a temporary directory. Then in the temporary directory, he is creating a file called x.sh, most probably some sort of bash script, and he is just typing in id command in here, and then by doing id command in that file, he is creating a rpm package. So we can see the instructions here as well. It says it runs command using a specially crafted rpm package, generate it with fpm and upload it to the target. So I think so now I need to generate a RPM package file using fpm, and then I need to transfer that RPM file to my target. Most probably I will do all of this stuff on my Kali machine, because I don't think so that fpm and any other strange tool will be installed onto my target system. So hopefully I will simply use this command onto my target machine. So let's come back to our terminal, and I will come back to my Kali machine. But before coming to Kali machine, let's see. Now my SQL maps directly gave me the output, and it says that these are the available databases. Now I have tried a lot of times this thing before, I never got this output. It took me forever, so I just finally press Ctrl C. But the strange thing here is that I am having access to these databases. So what I can do is, now normally whenever you install MySQL into your Kali machine or Ubuntu machine, what happens is information schema, MySQL, performance schema, these are the three ones which are installed by default. So the strange one which looks to me right here is test and Joomla. So let's see whether I can have access to Joomla. So I will do like, I will remove dash dash dbs parameter from here, because it means that show the databases. So I know my databases, so I will go for database Joomla right here with capital D, and then I will see the tables. So dash dash tables, hit enter, and let's see whether it gives me the table names. And yes, it is extracting all the tables. And now what I can do is I can simply look for any table which is interesting, and then I can extract data from there as well. So right now let's move on to the privilege escalation part, because it takes some time. So what I will do now is, yeah, so first of all, let's come back to our GTF Obins. So what he's doing is he's creating a shell script. So first of all, let's create a shell script. So I will do sublime, let's do shell.sh, and right here what I can see from this output is that whatever command I will add into this shell file and create a RPM package, it will get executed. So in this case he is using id command, but right now I will not use id command. Let's do anything interesting. So for that purpose there are a lot of things which I can do. I can simply add a rule in sudo's file so that I can execute anything as root, or I can simply do like changing the suid bit on bin bash. So let's do this one, which is very easy for beginners as well. So what I can do is, let's do change mode, and change mode plus s, which means suid bit on bin bash. Now the reason why I am changing suid bit on bin bash, or I am setting suid bit on bin bash, because if I will run bin bash with dash p parameter, I will get root access. So that's easy as possible. So I will save this script right here, close this one. Let's come back here, ls, I am having my shell.sh here. So now what I need to do is, let's come back here, and I will copy this command from here, come back to my terminal, and I will edit this one. So first of all, I don't need any sort of temporary file or temporary service, so I will remove this one from here, and I will add a period sign, which means that just create the rpm package file and add into this current working directory. So period means current working directory. Then I will remove everything, this one, and I will say that just did you use me this shell.sh file, and then I think so everything is fine. So dash n means the name, so let's remain the name to x. So that's fine, you can use any other name as well. So I think so let's hit enter, and let's see what happens. Now it says created the package, and if I do ls, now you can see the package file has been created, and there is a shell.sh file. So normally when I will use yum and install this package file into my target machine, most probably my shell.sh file will get executed and suid bit will get set on bin bash. So let's see how it works now. So now first of all, onto my target I will navigate into temp so that I can download my rpm package file into my temp directory. So here I will set my Python web server. So python-m simple http server on port 80. Hit enter just to transfer the file, and right onto my target I will use wget http my local IP, which is 10.17.41.9, and then I will copy this all from here, paste it here, hit enter, and now I got a hit onto my web server and package file has been downloaded here. So if I do ls now, and here is the rpm package file. So now let's come back to gtf obins, and it says you need to run sudo yum local install -y and then the name of the package file. So let's copy this all from here, and it looks like that my name file both are matching. So I'll paste the command in. Nothing needs to be changed. Now if everything is correct, when I will hit enter, it will install rpm package file and my shell.sh will get executed. So before executing this one, let me show you ls-la on bin bash. So on bin bash, you can see right now I am having read, write and execute, read and execute, and read and execute. So now let's paste my command in here, hit enter, and let's see whether it installs or not, or I'm having any sort of error. Right now I didn't got any error, and at the very bottom it says complete. Now if I do ls-la on bin bash, hit enter, and now you can see it is highlighted in red, which means now it is a suid binary. So whenever this is suid binary, what we can do is we can simply execute it as bin bash with a -p parameter just to maintain my user privileges. If I hit enter now, and now you can see a pound sign here after bash, and if I type in who am I, so I am root. So this was the box, I think so, because this was the easiest way that we can get initial foothold. What else we can do is there are a lot of things which we can do. We can, in my shell.sh file, what I can do is I can add different rules that can, like, I can add any rule in sudo's file, or I can add a malicious payload and get a reverse shell. So there are a lot of techniques, but this was the easiest one just for beginners. Just set suid bit on bin bash and you are root. That's it. So hopefully this was the box. Let me see if I am having root flag right in my root directory, or do I need to find that one? Yes, so I am having root flag right here. So that's all. So let's come back here on TryHackMe. Let's see what were the questions. So first of all, deploy the machine and access the web server who robbed the bank. So right at the very beginning on my web server, we saw that the blog post says that Spider-Man has robbed the bank, and in the obtain user and root flag, I am having what was the Joomla version, and we found out using JoomScan. Let's see the hint what it says. So it says, I wonder if the version of Joomla is vulnerable. So we can also go search for Google on this one as well, but that's fine. Then it says, instead of using Sqlmap, now Sqlmap also does work, and Python script also does work. So you can use both of them. It's your choice which one you can use. Then what is the cracked password for Jonah? It was Spiderman123, and we cracked that using John the Ripper. We can also use hashcat as well, and then below we need to specify user and root flag. And hopefully this was the box, and hopefully if you like the video, please subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, bye.